edition, so there, you can get that. But this is a Lafroig,
Yeah,
and this is a Lagavulin.
Oh, yeah. These are speedy, but I know that name. You got some right there.
How long
Yeah.
does it take to actually like? this is Kelly with Gia's Italian Kitchen. Welcome back to our live episodes, and I'm here with two amazing special guests. We're going to kind of do an interview, but we're going to cook some amazing food. So thank you for coming back.
Hi, I'm Tim.
Maestro
Cheers.
Tim. If you've watched any of our interviews before, we've cooked together before.
Hardly remember it, if you know what I mean. Yes. Yeah.
That's not good.
No, it was wonderful. That's the whole point. Yes.
And new to the stage is the new CEO of Orchestra Iowa, Eric. So thank you so much for being here.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm maybe a little intimidated at this point after that, but we'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
We're going to be fine. So we are going to make two Scottish dishes. Why Scottish? Because I'm Gia's Italian Kitchen. We will talk about. And we're going to talk about Orchestra Iowa and about the Scottish Fantasy, which is the Masterworks coming up in a couple weeks.
So we're calling this culinary crossover.
Right.
Yeah. Cultural crossover.
New title.
Right. I actually, growing up, my favorite comedian, of course, was a Canadian, Mike Myers.
Oh, yeah.
And when he was on SNL, he would say, "If it's not Scottish, it's crap." You know, so.
I remember that.
Yeah, so welcome to the cooking show, because things are about to get really good now. Yeah.
You are so adding to the humor of my episodes.
Well, you're welcome. Maybe. I'll wait for your lawyer to
Oh
get in
my
touch
God!
with me.
Yeah,
All
right. Okay. So we are gonna make a Scottish stew pie. I kind of made it up because, I don't cook Scottish, but we're gonna make a delicious dish.
It will be.
It will be good. And then we're gonna make some authentic Scottish shortbread. That apparently shortbread comes from Scotland, not from England, as I read. So I picked the shortbread. So we're gonna make those two. We're kind of gonna toggle back and forth, and we're gonna chat in the meantime.
Hell yeah.
So
yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
now, the goal for you guys out there tonight is, if you have the packet, that means you emailed me and I emailed it back to you. The packet is the class packet of recipes, the grocery list, some information about me, and the cooking guide, which is the sequence of what we're doing tonight, so that you can finish and have dinner for your family as well. So if you don't have that, I'm glad you're here and watching, but you can email Kelly, Kelley, at giasitaliankitchen.biz, B-I-Z, and I can get you that packet, not right now, but later, and you will have those recipes so that you can remake those. So thank you for tuning in. We are live on YouTube and Facebook tonight, so super excited. We do have people monitoring the chat, so if you have questions, please put those in there, and we will shout them out and get your questions answered.
Silly comments also welcome. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Silly comments. Where are you tuning in from?
Yeah.
I love hearing that. We've had people from all over the country. I actually had someone last year tune in from London.
Wonderful.
And I was like, what?
Yeah. And if you're from Scotland, do not judge. Do not judge.
You've already thrown the accent out there, right?
Yeah.
It's going out strong.
Right, yeah.
Oh
Just
my
suck it
gosh.
up, okay? It's only an hour long.
Well, they won't be able to taste it, so very minimal judging. Oh my gosh, you
All right,
guys.
so what are we doing
Okay,
here?
first things first. Drinks. You guys, how come you guys have drinks? I have nothing. So you're drinking wine, but you were also sniffing.
I've got scotch. So about a year ago, my wife and I went to Islay, which is an island off the west coast of Scotland. And I've got lots of samples here from single barrel draws that we came out. A little bit of Lagavulin, a little bit of Lafroig, Bowman. I think off camera we have some Brudari, which is great. So yeah, say it with me, everybody. Okay, so there's some good stuff. That very smoky, very peaty.
Oh, I don't like the smokiest
Well,
stuff.
it is an acquired taste.
Okay.
Actually, what I would be really curious about, because you can cook with almost any brown liquor.
Sure.
But I've never seen or heard of a recipe where you actually cook with scotch, because it's so briny, so smoky. Don't know if such an animal actually exists, but send your recipes if we're suggesting it.
Yeah, please do.
Would you want to use your scotch for cooking, though? That's the other
That's what I was thinking. No, everyone wants to just drink it.
No, I'll use Caitlin's husband's scotch for
That's the stuff not in the single
No,
barrel bottle. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so well, I have a glass of ice because I want to make a quick drink. I do like scotch, but I
what can I
love
get you?
gin. Now, gin can be made it's in London, it's in Ireland, and it's in Scotland. So I got Scottish because we're doing the Scottish.
Isn't
So
it Scottish? It's
it
one of my
is.
favorites, actually.
I know,
yeah.
it's so good. But I have one, the New Amsterdam, it's from California. But it's also very good, but it's not Scottish. But I just thought I would like have a little array there. So I'm gonna make a quick drink here, and I'm gonna grab a lime, and I'm gonna do a little tiny commercial for my favorite little gadget.
Oh, those are great.
It's called the Flooser. If you have not seen this, have you seen the Flooser?
No,
No,
I haven't.
okay.
No.
So it's, I don't even know what this is, but it's not metal, because those metal ones are like nasty and they rust and they chip and like then you're like eating metal. So this is got a flat end, and you put the flat end of the lemon or lime to the flat end, and then it has the little catcher down here for the seeds, and you go slow and steady, and it just
That is
like
awesome.
pulverizes the lime or lemon or orange.
Oh, that's better than the standard juicer.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just gets all of the juice.
Yep.
It's so fabulous.
That's great.
So yeah, if anyone's watching so I do classes up at the Brick Kitchen in Independence, Iowa. So if anyone's watching, hi, they know I love the Flooser. So I'm doing
It looks like a cup.
like a guy's cup. Oh,
You said it, I didn't.
An athletic supporter.
That's great making her blush on
oh
camera.
my gosh, Tim.
Yeah, we're not going to be shut down, are we?
Can you grab me, the fever-free, I would rather the diet, just because I would
Okay.
like less sugar. But the
Sure.
fever-free
Fever-Tree
is
is great, yeah.
a beautiful tonic, but I'm gonna just do the diet one.
Actually, Jill, my wife, who's off camera, one thing, there is a product that Fever Tree offers, but I've yet to see it in stores in North America.
Yeah?
And that is rhubarb flavored
Ooh.
Fever Tree. Yeah.
Ooh,
I
that
saw it.
sounds
We saw it a
delicious.
couple times. In fact, when we were in Scotland, actually, it was
Oh.
like, wow. And so we just thought it was just their kind of one of their standard flavors. Have yet to
Oh.
see it on the shelves here, but you cannot order it online.
Interesting. Okay. That sounds
And we're in
delicious.
Iowa. This is rhubarb country. I mean,
Yeah.
really?
Well, rhubarb grows like a weed here.
Yeah.
It does. Okay, so let's just do a cheers. Thanks for being here, Eric and Tim.
Cheers. Double fisted
Double
already.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, that's right.
Yum. Okay. So the stew, if you have the packet, hopefully you read through that. The stew takes, about an hour or two to like cook, prepare, and then bake and simmer. So I made one already so that we can actually like show you the finished product, but then we're gonna make it as well so that you can see how we did it. So what we have over here is almost the finished product, but what we're gonna do is kind of get this ready to go in the oven. So we have carrots. Can you guys see okay, cool. Carrots, onions, celery, and like I said, I kind of made up part of this recipe, so of course I threw some garlic in there, and what else did I throw in there that was a test? Some red wine, lots of red wine, some beautiful beef, and what I'm gonna do now is, it's been simmering here for a couple hours, I'm gonna take a slotted spoon and take the meat and all the vegetables out, because what I'm gonna be left with temporarily is the juice, and I'm gonna turn up the juice to high and reduce it down so that it thickens.
I didn't really check the notes. Is this beef chuck, or what kind of beef have you used for this?
I think it's sirloin.
Sirloin? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I had the butcher chop it up so that I didn't have to chop it up.
It saves time. It saves time.
So that's a good thing. Yeah. Any shortcuts, right? That's always kind of welcome. Okay. Let me get another little thing here.
So this becomes a little Scottish Italian with the garlic, red wine.
Oh yeah, because the Scots are really known for the red wine, right?
It's a Scottish, Italian.
Well, that's
and
what cooking is all about. Make it taste good.
they have a beef stew, and then they have these beef pies that are like covered. It's almost like a little baby beef Wellington is kind of what it looked like to
Nice.
me. They were like little individual things. And so I kind of did the combo of that, where I took these recipes of the stew and the pie, and we're just kind of making it up. But I think it's going to be delicious.
So you're reducing the juice to thicken it up?
Exactly. So that's going to sit there and reduce. Then we have these puff pastry sheets.
Smart.
So I'm not sure if they can see this or me. Okay. So puff pastry sheet, they're in your freezer. It's kind of where you would find your pie crust, but it's this beautiful, it's different. It's not the phyllo, it's not a pie crust, but it's gonna poof up. And so what we're gonna do is put this back after it thickens, and then we're gonna put the puff pastry on top.
That is a smart shortcut.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. And of course you could make your own dough. I'm not gonna do that either. So we're gonna show some shortcuts.
Shortbread is enough.
Okay, so while that's happening, we're gonna start the next batch.
Okay,
so I'm gonna give you guys, we've got carrots, celeries, and onion. Who wants to cut?
I want to see him cry. Give him the onion.
Okay,
Give me
so
the
you
onion.
got the onions. Okay. So you're gonna cut these 2 onions,
Okay.
and we're just gonna dice them like in little bite-sized pieces, not minced, so you don't have to hurt yourself by getting too small. Probably the larger knife would be my guess, and we're gonna do some carrots and celery. So here is your
Discard.
garbage bowl, your compost bowl.
So medium
here.
medium dice here too.
Yeah, medium dice here too. This is your good stuff. This is your compost bowl.
Got it. All right. Love it.
And I'm gonna just sneak back here and see how this is doing. So it's simmering. I'm gonna let it go for a few minutes on a pretty high heat. And let it reduce down. It should reduce down to about half.
Question for you, if you can put this on this screen here about the celery.
Yeah.
So when I prep the celery, do you want me to prep this part as well, or discard the tops?
You know, usually I cut it off at the
Okay.
the end there, but I do compost them, so
Okay, great.
we're not gonna be wasting them.
Okay, good.
Okay.
How you doing? You crying yet there?
No, I'm good.
Are you sure?
I got it.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
All day.
All right,
I
man.
forgot my goggles, but I'll be all right.
You know, Bambi's mother gets it at the beginning of the movie. Man.
Okay, so let's talk about the Scottish part of this, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sneak in between you. Can I
Okay.
sneak in between
Yeah.
you guys? Here, let's do this. Then you have more room, and I can sneak in here. Okay, so Scottish Fantasy is the Masterworks that's coming up in a couple weeks. So
Yeah, February, November 23rd. Yeah.
And you're doing it in Cedar Rapids and Coralville?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are not in the corridor of Iowa, we are here with Orchestra Iowa. So we're Cedar Rapids, Iowa City corridor, about 4 hours west of Chicago, in the beautiful downtown Paramount Theater, which is the home to the orchestra.
Right.
So tell us about the Scottish Fantasy.
Well, first let's start with the artist. Her name is Melissa White. She is a wonderful musician. She's one of the founding members of the Harlem Quartet, and we had the Harlem Quartet as one of our guest artists. Was it last year or the year before? And I just remember during that performance when they were playing a really cool piece for quartet and orchestra, she was like 2 feet away from my left ear here, and she was amazing. So we reached out to her and said, hey, do you want to come back to Iowa? And she said, yeah, I would love to. And then as we often do, we say, okay, what would you like to play? And she came back with, I would like to do the Scottish Fantasy, which is really, it was really great because as a student, that was one of the first pieces I ever conducted. And
interesting.
yeah, and
Okay.
it's gorgeous, it's sweeping, it's got all these beautiful Scottish melodies, and just by coincidence, thanks to the great Dr. Julie Thomas, over the years, our symphony harp was really declining, and so with a very generous donation, she donated for a new harp, and this will be kind of its maiden voyage because the Scottish Fantasy is as much a harp concerto as it is a violin concerto. So, so that's going to be wonderful. And for those of you classical music geeks out there, you know, there's something about Bruch and the way he writes for violin that's just so luscious and just gorgeous, and you know, anybody with a pulse is going to love that piece. So come out and check it out if you're in the viewing area, and it'll be absolutely wonderful.
So the Saturday is Cedar Rapids at the Paramount. Sunday, is it at Coralville?
Yeah, Coralville Center for the Performing Arts, which is in Coralville, and it's a lovely intimate theater. It seats about 500.
Yep.
Would you say? And yeah, so actually one of the things that happened when I joined Orchestra Iowa is we used to just do either one concert a weekend or two just in Cedar Rapids. But for those of you who don't know the area, Iowa City and Cedar Rapids are basically 25 minutes apart from each other, and we're basically the same metropolitan area. So we do doubles, meaning that we perform in Cedar Rapids on Saturday, and then we repeat our performances on Sunday at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Melissa is an artist that I worked with. I just moved here from Baton Rouge, which was my previous place. I worked with her a couple times there,
Here, I'll take
and
this.
I had actually just hired her to do Scottish Fantasy with the symphony
Oh, funny.
there, and I was not going to get a chance to work with her, so I was really disappointed. I come here like, perfect.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
So I still get to check that box off of getting to work with her
That's
again
a-
on that particular
that
piece.
is
Okay,
also-
you can keep
wait
those
back
over
here.
there. Do you want to wash your hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is not unusual that when artists, have certain repertoire under their fingers, and if they have back-to-back engagements or engagements that are close together, they like to try and do the same piece so they don't have to retool for an entire different piece within a couple weeks between performances. So, but I'm glad she chose this piece because Jill's my wife, and of course you can't see her, but she's right there, so I want to embarrass her. She's been on my case, dogging me for years to do this piece. That and
Really?
Daphnis and Chloe,
Oh,
by
cool.
the way. But anyway, yeah, actually it is one of her favorite pieces. I
Nice.
kid you not.
Okay. We're going to jump back to the food, and then we'll come back because we want to hear more about Eric, the new CEO at Orchestra Iowa. So I'm going to just put a hot pad here because I'm going to bring this over here
Yum.
to show you guys and finish off what we're doing.
Beautiful. Oh, that looks great.
So that is a little thicker, so that's good.
If that doesn't say anything about Scottish food, it's brown food, baby. It's brown food.
Oh, shoot, that's funny.
I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, it is brown food. So we've got, like I said, and I'm going to take the bay leaf out. The beef and the onions. There's
It smells great.
stock. So the stock, I know, like how can it be bad? Because it's the there's wine, there's garlic. The stock I made homemade beef stock
Can I take the Bailey out?
and lamb stock.
Oh, it's good. Can I take the Bailey out?
Yeah,
Bailey?
like it's not going to be terrible. I don't think.
Oh, no. So this is what cooking is all about. A recipe is just a starting point.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna take our puff pastry, and these come usually 2 to a box. And we're gonna lay this over the top.
Oh, nice.
It usually comes in a trifold, so I'm just gonna unfold it.
Are
and
they
just-
are they frozen or how does this work?
Good question. So they're in the freezer. I have it relatively thawed, but I'm literally just gonna go
Yep.
like this.
Yep.
And squish it into there. Now, if we wanted more, you could take another one and fill in.
Yeah, fill in and make it look.
but
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yep.
I like it.
Okay, excuse me. And then I'm gonna take a little knife and just
Lovely.
do a
Lovely.
few little slots
Yep.
so that it doesn't explode, right? And then I have my oven preheated to 400, so I'm going to put this pan. So I use this cast iron pan. You can use the one that we're gonna do to start the next batch is just a really big, am I on this one or this one? This one, okay. Just a really, really big skillet, assuming you don't
High
have
sides?
two cast iron pans. Yeah,
High
high
side,
sides like
yeah.
this cast iron, because, which is a nice thing about this dish is it's going
One
from
pot.
stove to the oven,
Yeah.
one pot,
Is
and
there a lot of seasoning that happens with this, like salt, pepper?
yeah, so we did, yeah, no, good question. So we did the garlic and the salt and the pepper, everything is in there already.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so we're kind of doing it backwards so that we can get this in the oven. Yeah, so let me get behind you. We're gonna go in here,
400 degrees.
400 degrees.
Ah, yeah. Oh, look at this. I see you have a pizza.
Pizza stone.
A pizza stone.
You know, the pizza stone, I just love it because, and it stays in your oven. So 20 minutes, sorry. The pizza stone is like it turns your oven into an outside big stone.
It just
pizza oven.
it just controls the
I
heat
just
better.
love 'em, yeah.
It controls the heat better.
And
yeah.
for a pizza, I can do 6 minutes,
Right.
in here, just like I could outside in a quickie. But
So we're talking like Italian cheating for Scottish food.
So you put that on the pizza stone?
I
when
put
it's
it on the pizza stone
Okay.
because I keep my stone in the oven because what it does, and I just leave it in there all the time, and the temperature, as you're cooking, the temperature is going up and down and up and down. It's actually seasoning and strengthening your pizza stone. So I literally, that's where I store the pizza stone.
So let's talk fashion, because I see you're wearing the Italian flag for your apron.
This is my uniform!
And it looks a lot like a kilt, right? But I noticed that Eric did not bring his.
Or you.
But I'm wearing tweed, at least. But by the way, one of the biggest disappointments was when I realized, and I found out that the whole tartan thing, clans have their own weave of,
Yeah.
that is a really recent thing. This hasn't been going on for thousands of years. It's more of a, sorry people, but it's more of a marketing thing
Sorry,
that's been
people.
popularized since the last 100 years or so. And even the Welsh now, and I think the Irish are starting to get into the game of we got to have our own family tartan now. So it's a relatively recent, but man, that is probably the biggest weave of a Scottish tartan I've ever seen.
I love my flag. And you know what? When my mom cooks with me, we have matching
Lovely.
flag aprons. Yes, it's part of the uniform.
Excellent.
To identify myself. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the start of the stew.
Okay, starting the
So
stew.
we cut the veggies, but
Yep.
first what we're gonna do is actually start to kind of season the pan. So we're gonna do the meat. So we've got the sirloin that again they cut
Yep.
for me.
Yep.
So I'm gonna just drop it into this bowl. And I have some flour here that I seasoned with salt and pepper.
That's great because the flour will soak up some of the moisture and will also thicken
Yeah, exactly.
the juice afterwards.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so we're gonna take the flour, and you can kind of go like this way and this way, or dump it this way. I'm gonna do it into the bigger bowl because I think it'll just be easier to mix.
Yep.
And I'm gonna just get
Get your hands dirty.
gross here. This is
Yeah,
how
that's right.
the Italians do it.
Everybody
man.
does it that
You
way.
gotta
And
use
it's
your
right.
hands.
Yeah.
My grandma, you gotta do the meatballs, but she even mixes the salad with her hands
Really?
because I know that's kind of gross. I don't do that.
Yes.
But why is that different? Like, where is
She
anyone?
says that it gets mixed better.
But why is it gross though? If you're gonna mix everything else,
Yeah,
together,
meat's
what's the-
okay, but salad, no.
Heaven forbid I touch that lettuce.
with the
But I'll
olive
touch
oil.
this.
With the olive oil. Oh, yeah, but I'll touch the raw meat.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah, you're funny. Yeah. Okay, so this is 2.5 pounds, so it is a lot of meat. And we've got this covered with the flour now, but we're gonna shake it off because we don't want all the flour because we don't want it to be gooey and gross. So we're gonna kind of shake it off and then bring it over here. Let me just wash up real quick here. So I have that big skillet, and we're gonna do a few tablespoons of olive oil.
Do you preheat the pan and put the oil in, or do you put the oil in and turn on the pan? Or does it matter?
With nothing in it, it probably doesn't matter. If you have an induction stove, it does matter because if you have an empty pan, if the minute you put anything in that induction,
Boom,
not flames, but smoke, it'll burn whatever you put in there. So on a gas stove, it shouldn't matter too much. Now I am going to use extra virgin olive oil though, so if dog toy. That's okay. That's okay. My viewers have met Enzo.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
Good.
That's an Enzo toy. Yeah. You usually do not want, or you don't want to heat good extra virgin olive oil at a high heat. So I'm going to do this at a medium high heat, which is about as high as you want to go to keep that nutritional value, not smoke it, not burn it, and get it all gross.
Olive oil is also, it's because of the flavor. You actually want the flavor of the olive in the oil.
Right.
So if you overcook it, not only will you burn it, you'll lose the flavor of it as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I've done olive oil tastings before for
lovely.
private groups.
Yeah.
And it's so fun because if you get a crappy olive oil, you can taste how it tastes like a crayon instead of an olive.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh my gosh.
what's
I'm like,
this?
I know,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I used to eat
know.
crayons. It's fine.
You have kids, so
I mean,
you love it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put these in probably in 2 batches because
Yeah, you don't want to overcrowd it or it'll steam rather than get the nice Maillard
Exactly,
reaction.
yep.
Oh, a little bit of French for you on this Italian-Scottish night.
Okay, say it again. What?
The Maillard reaction. That's when that's when you get the little not char, but the really crusties on the meat. That's called the Maillard reaction when it releases sugars and it just caramelizes. That's
And
the word I'm
that
looking
is
for.
what we're doing. Caramel, yes,
Exactly,
because
right.
we're browning them. We're not going to cook them
All
too
right.
much.
And so when you say you're shaking them off, you're just individually putting them in, so not
I
all
am
that
because
flour.
I'm like strategically placing them so that they all have space on the pan.
And you're not dumping all that extra
And
flour.
I'm not exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get as many as I can in here. However, yeah, it's definitely going to be 2 batches. So we'll just hang those there. And we're only going to let those go for like maybe 3 minutes and then turn them. So Eric, do you want to be the turner dude?
Sure, just
Okay, so come over. Yeah, you can come over here, but
Yeah.
we're gonna wait like a couple minutes.
Sure.
And there's tongs, and you're
Okay.
literally like one by one. You're gonna have to like do the thing
Got
and
it.
just turn the meat, and then we will take them out and do batch 2. Okay. Let's see. We've got the veggies cut. Do you want to start on the shortbreads? We've got
Sure.
13 minutes still in the oven for that, and then we'll check our.
I have a
What?
question.
Oh, we got a question.
Yeah.
We got a question.
How can you tell a good olive oil from not a good olive oil if you can't taste it?
Could you hear that over line, or do we have
So
to
the,
repeat?
yeah, so the question, great question. So the question is, how do you know if it's a good olive oil or not if you can't taste it? Excellent question. So I have many olive oils behind here. I will show you my my favorite
Was
one.
this your go-to?
This is my go-to. It's not
fill up your
about,
lawnmower with this one. That's what it looks like.
I know, this is the 3 liters that I get from Graziano's, which is the Italian grocery store in Des Moines. It's really about the label. Like, with any food and nutrition, you got to read labels. You got to read the labels. So it's not the brand, it's what you're reading. So it has to say extra virgin olive oil. If it doesn't have all 4 of those words, 1, there's probably other olives in it. It's probably been heated
Or a second, third
and
press?
treated
Yeah.
and yes. So the verbiage on here, you can see first cold press. That means it's never been heated. The olives were harvested and pressed within 72 hours of being on the tree, cold, and extra virgin olive oil. And then if you want to get more into it, you can turn and look, and there's like a harvest date. And of course an expiration date, but the harvest date to expiration, you never want more than 2 years, preferably like 18 months.
Yeah.
Because it's not a wine. You're not saving it.
Right.
It's like a balsamic you could save because it's a wine kind of. But olive oil, it'll go nasty.
Also, having it in a closed container rather than a glass container, it also prevents it from aging as fast as well, so it won't spoil as quickly in the cupboard.
Yes, however, let me, I don't have any glass ones here. So yeah, so pretend you forget all of that, okay? Hey, wait, we need to flip.
Yeah, all right. I thought so. I had a feeling.
That's the worst.
Sorry.
So pretend you forget all of that. If it's in a tin, that's good. If it's in glass, that's good.
Okay.
If it's in plastic,
Oh,
boo.
boo, yeah.
Because it probably does not fit the profile of all those things that I just mentioned. So in general, and then on the back, the list of ingredients. Now this one is actually in Italian, so I wish I could speak Italian, but I don't.
What does it say?
Do you speak Italian?
I used to, yes.
Oh, then you say it.
Well, that's it. No, I can't say
No,
it. That's right.
that's okay.
It's dirty.
But there should also
Not on air.
Extra virgin olive
That's right, exactly.
that's all it should say.
Yeah, oh my God. Really?
Extra virgin olive oil.
Why do they heat some olive oil then if it's not good for it?
No,
Like-
you can, but think about if you're frying something, you would
No,
use
no,
like a
but some of
peanut
you said
oil.
they'll come like they'll have been heated for previous, like you said cold.
In the process.
Yeah, why do they
yes.
heat them in the process if it's not good for it? What's the
Because they're trying to save money. Because usually the ones that have been heated also have either other oils, olives from other countries that have been shipped, and then you've got time and heat, and nutritional value is going down. They could be, I don't know what they add into it, but There's a great story, Nate from Brick Kitchen Independence again. You know, they back in the days of Paul Revere, where the oil that you would put in the lanterns, that is actually not outlawed in the United States. So, and you won't see that on a food label, but if it doesn't say all the things that I just said on the extra virgin olive oil, there's the potential that there is like oil that you really shouldn't be consuming in these you know, millions of brands of olive oil. So it does matter to read the label and get the good stuff.
I love this fruity smell when you know you're cooking with really good olive oil. You just it smells great.
It smells great. I mean, like I just
oh yeah.
So it smells like
just a second here. This one's smokier. Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's Scottish.
It's oh, of course.
oh my gosh, you guys are funny. Okay.
Shortbread. You needed to put me back.
Shortbread,
You needed to put me back.
Yeah,
to
well,
work.
let's do the next batch because
So I can take that off?
probably done. Yeah. So just scoop. You can scoop with these.
Okay.
So in the bottom of your pan, are we on this one now? On the bottom of your pan, we're gonna leave the oils, and we're gonna leave all those nice nuggets of brown that right now they're sticking to the pan. That's okay. It's gonna become part of the yummy. Yeah. When we get the veggies in there, it'll all release, and we'll get the wine in there. They'll come up and become part of the sauce. So it'll be great. So he's just scooping out the meat so that we can do the second batch.
Yeah, by the way, there's a thing called fond. So that's what she was talking about when you cook meat in a pan and it sort of sticks to the pan a little bit and starts to caramelize, and you take the meat out and you still got bits and pieces in there that are like,
Oh yeah, the good stuff.
never throw that away.
Right.
Never, because that's where the flavor is.
Okay, so we're gonna add just a little more.
Oh,
olive
actually,
oil.
actually, can you pick that up and show them, Fawn?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh, hang on.
Because this has got some great fond going on in here.
Yeah. So should I do this camera or yeah?
Oh, yeah, that's.
See that? I'm awfully fond of you. That's great.
But you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, now I'm gonna have to wash that pan. It's gonna like not look like this when we're done.
Do you want me to do this while you're doing the short
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Get back to work.
All right,
Yeah.
back to work.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we don't have to do shortbread yet. We have a little more of that to do.
Okay.
Because that really should be like 2-3 minutes. Turn and get them off, and then we're gonna get the veggies
How's the
in there.
cocktail doing?
So I love my cocktail. Hey Jill, can you grab one of those containers right behind there that's like the homemade looking ones?
So we're talking
Thank
about
you.
culinary crossover, because what you don't know is, which camera are we on, this one? Yeah. What you don't know is that she makes the best mint julep ever.
Oh,
Yeah. So here we are cooking Scottish with a little bit of Italian, talking French with a yeah. So what's in the jar?
well,
Yeah.
okay, so let's do the mint julep for a second. So the mint
Okay,
julep,
yeah,
the
yeah.
key to that is the homemade mint syrup.
Yeah.
Simple syrup with like as much fresh mint leaves as you can possibly cram into a jar.
Overnight, almost, yeah.
Days,
It's like,
and it steeps, and then that's the base of your. It's so good.
Yeah.
But this is homemade gin. I know.
Oh.
I'm not saying it's good, but it was an experiment. Here, let's get a glass.
Okay. Homemade gin.
Or can I-
What is
can I have one of
what
those
is
little
gin made out of?
glasses?
You know,
So this was kind of a cheat recipe.
so what's it made of?
Yeah, what do you make
So
gin out of?
it's vodka,
Okay.
but then
So
you
you pour, because
yeah, this will probably be messy. Again, I'm not saying it's good, but it's you can taste it. So I have a sous vide machine. So if you have a sous vide machine, do you have one?
I don't. I need one.
Oh, you
Yeah.
need one.
I know.
It's so cool. So vodka, and then like the juniper berries, cardamom, black pepper, coriander, like the whole
Right.
seeds.
Yeah.
And then I sous vide it.
Oh.
And then it like turned into gin. I mean, not really, but it's still vodka.
Smooth. No, it's really good. I gotta tell you. So I kind of wonder what. So I always wondered, do you need juniper berries for gin? Because
Yes.
I heard that there's a brand called Roku, which I've had, which is also it's a delicious Japanese gin.
Oh, I saw that.
But I don't believe they actually use juniper. But when you smell it, it smells like a gin.
Well,
But
if they don't use juniper, they probably have more
Some-
cardamom in
yeah,
it. Because the
maybe.
cardamom really smells like the gin too when you're like,
oh yeah, bottoms up, man. She makes her own. Lemon.
it's good!
Yeah, you can really tell.
Oh yeah.
They're really, oh,
Just take it small.
You're
sip.
really selling it.
Are we on this camera?
It's so
Don't
good.
you wish you could be here? I mean, I can't feel my tongue. That's right. All right.
It wasn't bad. Oh, come on.
I don't drink liquor. So
Oh,
for me,
okay.
it's all
Okay.
gasoline.
Okay.
So
Oh, okay.
that's why I have a beer
The
here.
beer and the wine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you throw a little lime, a little
no.
tonic in there, it's lovely.
Off camera, is Kevin around? I need to pour him some of these scotches. So.
Oh, yeah.
Hey Jill, could you go get Kevin? I need to pour him some of these scotches because So.
Okay, so let's turn those.
Alrighty?
Yeah, it's just like 3 minutes.
It's only been a minute and a half.
Oh, really?
I watched the
You're
time.
watching?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Time stands still when you're drinking gin.
Because we're just browning them. We're not cooking them.
No,
Okay.
well,
Okay.
I'll turn them. You're the cook. I just play one on TV.
2 minutes.
Which
That's
one?
good.
All right.
Oh, so do you want a Bowman? Do you want a Lafroig? Do you want a Lagavulin? You had the Lagavulin. Let's go for some Lafroig. All right. Lafroig.
I don't know what any of those words
Oh,
were.
we're gonna have a ram Lafroig.
Yeah, it's a good classic lot.
Bruladish Galat. Yeah. Okay. You know that's actually the sobriety test at the end of the evening. Can you say Bruladish? Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Well, I'm never going to be able to say
I think
it.
if you can say you are drunk.
That's right.
Can't now.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. All right.
Okay, we're going to
That's lovely. Yeah.
start on
When I do this, it limits
the shortbread. Well,
Okay.
we're getting that going. Okay, so the shortbread, like I said, is an authentic recipe. I did not mess with this. It's so delicious. It reads really easy, but when I made the other batch, it was a little temperamental. So,
How so? What do you mean temperamental? I mean.
well, I made the dough and then it was a little crumbly. Now we tasted it and it tasted really good. So I guess
Yeah.
But we're gonna do it the way that like the Scottish recipe says,
Okay. Well, yeah.
and see what happens. So we're coming over here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just pull this over
Yay.
here a little bit.
Okay.
And you can do this by hand, you can do this with a hand mixer. I'm just doing it with the stand mixer because it's easier. And I have my paddle on here for the attachment. I like this paddle that has, it's got like a spatula on the end, so it's really good
That's
for
really
something like
great.
this, or like a cake dough or a cookie dough.
Yeah. My wife is smiling
Yeah.
and nodding. I think we're gonna get one of these really
Christmas
soon.
stocking,
Oh,
yeah.
even
Oh,
sooner.
before
than
that,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
He means he's taking it with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then you're not doing the scraping yourself,
I
right?
get that.
It's doing the scraping for you. Okay, so we're gonna take the sugar. So grab the sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a thing in it already. And we're gonna do 1/2 of a cup right into
Is this
the
a half
mixer.
cup right here?
That is a 1/2 cup.
So 1/2 cup.
And get it nice and level.
Yeah. Do you have
Because
a?
the scraper is being used for something else, so I can't give you that.
Do you
right
have a knife or something?
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
A straight edge.
Because when you cook, especially Italian, you're like, a little of this, a little of this. When you're baking, which I'm not really a baker, I gotta follow the directions. You need to follow, because it's a chemical reaction, right?
So my wife is a pharmacist, and she told me that it's like, yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and the ER just doesn't cut it, but could be fun. Where would you like it? Well,
I
in
would
here?
like it in here.
Oh, in here. Okay.
In here.
There you
yep.
go. There you go.
Okay, then, actually, and it's a good thing you have a knife out, because next, we're going to take 2 whole sticks of butter.
Oh, God bless
Yes,
you.
I know.
My cardiologist loves you.
Exactly. Okay, and we're gonna do, so the flour, not yet, but
Not
we are
yet.
gonna open these up
Okay.
and cut them into the tablespoons to throw them in there because it will just help it
Yeah, to break down.
incorporate
Yeah.
better. Yeah, and then we'll get that.
Got it.
Oh, look at you. You're all over that.
I'm on it.
Okay, cool. So we're just gonna set that aside.
Can
So,
we turn the heat off on this? or-
nope,
All right.
we're still going. So Eric took the meat out And there's the timer. So before we keep going with this, let me just turn this down. Let's check to see our Scottish pie. See what it looks like.
Oh,
With
yeah.
this puff pastry on it.
I can smell it.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see this, or should I bring it over?
Bring it over.
Yeah.
Okay. Watch out. Heavy and
Hey, let me throw this down at you. That looked real bunny. That
Look
looked
at
real bunny. Yes, that's great. That's great.
Okay.
All right, let's go eat. I'm done. That's all right.
That looks spectacular.
This has been fun.
So we're gonna
yeah.
just put that over there to cool for a little bit, and I'm gonna reduce the oven to 375 for our shortbread.
By the way, my last name is Hankewich, which is Ukrainian, but on my mom's side, I am Scottish. I am Irish and Scottish,
Oh, good.
and mostly Welsh. So I mean,
Okay.
this is my food. This is
Okay.
this is my people. Yeah.
I'm half Irish. Did you know that?
No way.
But like the Italians are all of the cooks in the kitchen.
Right.
So I don't know how. I have like 0 recipes from.
And historically,
My
you
dad's
did
side.
occupy at least most of England.
There's that.
There is that.
Oh crap. Okay, you're doing that. Hang on,
Okay.
and then I'm coming back over here. We're gonna add a couple tablespoons of butter. So yeah, more butter to the pan over here. Same pan. And we're gonna get the vegetables going.
Oh, that looks wonderful.
Okay, so this is on a medium heat. Yeah, this, you can see all the brown. It's like crazy.
Fond. Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
That's good stuff.
It's gonna be great. Okay, then we'll let that melt. As soon as that's fully melted, let's throw just the carrots in first.
Okay.
I didn't do
Good.
separate bowls, but you can kind of
Carrots first.
carrots first, and then we'll do onions and celery in a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Back to shortbread.
Back to shortbread.
Okay.
Okay, I'm on the job.
So we're gonna
Okay.
get all of those, all of them.
Just half of it,
into-
or both of them?
No, both of them.
Okay.
Both of them.
Okay, we're gonna cream the butter. Oh,
Yes.
Got it.
Well, we're not gonna cream it.
Okay.
We're going to, and maybe that's, well, the recipe says don't cream it, just get it combined. Maybe that's why it was crumbly. I don't know. We'll try
Could
it.
very well be, because I think if you overbeat it, it might get dense and
Yeah.
kind of like eating a brick,
Yeah,
which is not
so-
fun for shortbread. So.
Well, it was
Is it
just,
fun for certain breads? The way to break?
Hey, but the good news is if you overbeat it and it's really tough, you can dunk it in your tea.
yes.
There you go.
Or your
scotch.
Or my scotch. Where's the
Okay, garbage is right here.
Looks great. Oh,
Okay, so I am gonna use my little spatula though, and push this down a little bit. Because my sugar is kind of at the bottom.
oh yeah.
So if you've made shortbread before, if you're watching, happy to get any suggestions that you have.
Well, actually, this is a good time because Christmas
Yeah.
is coming, Thanksgiving is
Yeah.
coming. A lot of people do their Christmas baking.
Yeah.
Shortbread was always one of the staples in my family. I
Oh, was it?
never paid attention
Oh, okay.
how it
Well,
was
there
made
we
because
go.
I was like this high. And so,
Well, I did put a couple varieties on the. There we
There
go.
we go. Yeah.
On the recipe that you could add cinnamon and nutmeg.
Lovely.
For a little twist, or for a little brightness, some lemon zest or orange zest.
Oh,
So I thought that would be
yeah,
a nice
yeah, yeah.
little twist
Yep.
to a classic, but we're just doing the regular.
Yep.
Okay, now we need 2 3/4 cup flour.
Okay.
So let's just put them in the bowl. So this is a cup and then a 1/4 cup, and I'll give you another
2
knife.
3/4.
2 3/4, and we'll put them in here, and then we'll add it at the end. Eric, how you doing over there?
Getting the carrots in.
Cool. So what we're gonna do is sweat down these vegetables. It's kind of like well, it's a mirepoix. The carrots, the onions, and the celery.
Oh, throwing down the French again. There we go.
But I'm gonna bridge it to Italian.
Okay.
Because in Italian, now I'm gonna forget the word. Oh crud. Oh
You're
no.
welcome for distracting
I
me.
know. So sofrito. That's
sofrito, of course.
So the sofrito is the carrot. I have it in my freezer. It's like labeled. Onion, celery, carrots, garlic. So it's like the start of your
anything.
soup or your stew or whatever. But you add the garlic to the mirepoix, and it's a sofrito Italian. So that's basically what we're doing here to start the stew in reverse. And look at how meticulous you are.
I live with a pharmacist. Live with a pharmacist. And she's eyeballing me hard right now. So I got to be on my best behavior.
Okay, so let's go back to Eric. So you are new to Orchestra Iowa.
I am.
We're so excited to have you. Tell us, so not some of the challenges, but like some of the things that you see on the horizon for Orchestra Iowa in terms of bringing more people to the Paramount, bringing people to the orchestra, maybe incorporating the younger audience, or things that that you want viewers to know, young viewers to know, that are swimming around in your head.
More cooking shows, clearly. Obviously, we got to start there. With this Scottish Fantasy, we're actually we're having an after party afterwards on the Saturday night concert. We're going to the U.S. Bank building.
Yeah, the downtown bank building.
Which is no longer a bank, but it's still set up like a bank.
The whole bank is gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do any, they do some private banking, but that whole giant lobby, where it's all set up like a bank, but it's gorgeous. So we're bringing in a DJ, drinks, food, and just have a rave after a concert. Cool. So it's about tying in these experiences of making it a whole evening.
Okay.
Where it's not just about the concert. What's great about working for most American orchestras is the product on stage is always amazing. That's the part we don't have to worry about.
Right.
What they do on stage, over half the people on that stage have a doctorate in music. They know what they're doing. That part's always going to be excellent. It's what we can do around that. What can we do at the Paramount beforehand, what can we do afterwards. We have an Opus Concert Cafe where people can grab a drink. It's about making it a full evening experience. Okay. So trying to deliver more of that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how about or do you think, is there still an intimidation factor for people coming to watch an orchestra in their minds?
Yeah, well, if you haven't been before, you see this image of people in white tails and when do I clap? Can I clap now? Can I not? Which is a total tangent, but back when Mozart was performing and playing, if they liked the first movement, they would just do it again. The audience would go nuts. They'd be like, you know what, let's just do that again.
Let's do it again.
It was so awesome. And then you kind of hit the 1800s, it was we have to wait till the whole piece is done. I tell people, wear what you want to wear.
Yeah.
Clap when you want to clap. Come and have a great time. This art form is for everybody. If no one's there, then the musicians aren't really having very much fun on stage.
It's just performative, and it's what's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah.
So it's about trying to just come in, have a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah. Sort of like cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care if you don't know how to cook or not. Just boil water, and we'll give you an egg.
But some people hate it. So I was reading an article about Thanksgiving dinner.
How can you not hate, hate cooking? Oh my God.
Some people, they were quoted, I will order a pizza because I don't want to cook. I will have someone else do the cooking and I will clean because I hate cooking.
Ladies and gentlemen.
There's such a variety.
That's what this is for.
I think some people are intimidated, kind of like the orchestra. They don't know what to do, not sure how this works, I don't want to mess it up, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's accurate. A lot of people are
that's true.
Intimidated. And
well, especially when you're throwing words around like sofrito, you're not
helping.
That's true. I'm not. I'm actually quite an obstacle right now.
How many languages can we put into this segment here?
Exactly. Let's get into
this is
now.
easy. This is easy.
All right. Yeah. Is this on?
But that's why I do this.
Yeah.
Because I love the teaching aspect, and I love trying to show. And you guys know what you're doing, but to show people how to make this easy. How, especially Italian cooking, is not super intimidating. Yeah. And if I show you some tips and tricks, and we do it together, which is the private group class. So go to my website, giasitaliankitchen.biz, and we do it together, and then you're like, oh, it wasn't that hard.
It is about
right?
It is about fun. It is about community. It is about doing it together.
Yeah.
It's.
And to your point, you're talking about cooking and baking. The difference of cooking really is you can make it your own. You don't have to follow anything exactly. It's a little more
free flow.
Yeah, I don't bake.
Yeah. I know.
I was glad you were over there for
Yeah.
that part with the pharmacist
Okay,
wife.
so
I
let's
could make
finish-
sure that it was
let's finish
perfect.
What do we
this
got
bait.
going
Okay,
on?
so we're gonna turn this back on low and
Slowly put it
add
in.
the flour. Yep.
Are we ready for celery
Yes,
and
you can throw the celery and
and
the
the onion?
onions in there. Yep.
perfect?
And then we're gonna get that in the oven. And get the, oh, thank you. You can add it a little
A
faster.
little faster.
We're gonna keep it on setting number 1 so that the flour doesn't end up on your Scottish
Well, too late.
jacket.
It's all right. Yeah. Yeah. Tweed. That's Scottish
The tweed.
for culinary mishap. Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
this,
look, it's looking crumbly.
yeah.
Yeah. That's nice. Almost like breadcrumbs. Almost the
But
consistency.
it should,
You want to crumble it? That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
But don't stick a knife in
No,
there.
I'm just keeping it
Oh
away
my
from
word. Do you want to go to the ER?
No, but I got a pharmacist here. It's okay.
Okay,
So you can be heavily medicated by the time you get to the ER.
Yeah, that's right.
okay, so I'm gonna just get some. There's some of the butter and sugar that's on the little mix tool. Scrape, and then I'm gonna do this one more time and see if this forms into a dough.
We did have somebody comment, how can we get tickets to the U.S. Bank building party after the conference?
Oh, nice.
What a great question. If you go to orchestraiowa.org and you use the promo code PARTY, because we're having a party. That
Which
gets
in
you
Latin is actually pronounced partay.
partay. Put in the promo
Or
code
Italian. Yeah, that's right.
partay. What's really great is we're actually doing a promo where you can get a concert ticket and the after party for $49, any seat in the house. So it's a really great
nice.
deal to come out and come experience the party. P-A-R-T-Y.
Yeah, I got it. I stepped on the message by sorry. Yeah.
Orchestraiowa.org.
Oh, show them the consistency of it, what we're going.
Yeah, so well, I don't know if we're going for this. So if you make shortbread, someone please
No,
send me a message.
I think you're on the right track because I think as you form it, it will clump together because you don't want it too dense.
Okay,
That is
so
my
I'm
theory.
gonna-
This is coming
I'm
from
gonna
someone
press
who's
it.
never made shortbread before. So.
But
See, that
feel
looks
good
like,
about it.
That looks like shortbread.
Well, and there's so much butter, like it's gonna melt
That's
and
right.
cook, and it's gonna come together.
And you know what? We can always put bacon on top of it too. No, excuse me. Prosciutto. Yeah.
Prosciutto. Okay,
do
so
I have to put like haggis on it? That's
oh
like,
yeah,
I mean,
Truly Scottish.
that's
yeah,
what we didn't make tonight was
Oh,
haggis.
hey, well,
Yeah.
no one would have actually kind of followed us tonight. It
because
was
no one wants to make haggis.
Oh my God, haggis.
I can't wait to make that at home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have one of these, this would be the best tool, the bench
scraper.
scraper. So I'm gonna cut this into 8 pieces.
What's that tool called?
The bench scraper.
That's the technical name.
It is.
Thank
It is.
you.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
great for just like if you were cutting the onions and scooping to get
Yeah.
into your bowl, but I didn't want to give it to you because I was using it on this. So, but it's a good tool. And I'm just gonna go all the way down because then what these are called in Scotland are fingers.
Fingers.
Shortbread fingers. So we're cutting them into.
So you cut it before you bake it instead of
Yeah.
after.
You
It's
do.
interesting. It's
You do.
interesting, yeah.
You cut it before.
And they don't like.
So I'm not sure.
They don't bake back
hang
together?
on,
I'm not sure.
no.
I'm not sure if my friend Will Barnes from Chicago is in because he often follows you.
Oh, yeah.
And if this is called fingers, well, you know.
He's in.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah, I feel the love
I'll
already.
show you because I did the other batch. So I'll
Yeah,
show
so I'm
you.
just
So,
like, it feels like it's going to this.
you would think, but
Like
it
back
actually
together.
didn't. So then you're going to take a fork and we're going to put about halfway down. We're making the little fork
Yep.
marks, which is then like the typical view, right, of the little shortbread, is you have
Yeah.
the little holes in there. But what the holes also do is prevent this from poofing up like a cake.
And it's important to only go halfway down. If you go all the way, is that bad if you go all the way down? Is that going to
So the
create some?
recipe says.
All right, there we go.
So I'm trying to not go all the way down.
Sure.
just to release some of the pressure, give it the pattern.
It's also going to expand, so it needs room to.
A little bit, but not much.
not much.
So I'm in an 8x8 pan. So this is, we're gonna.
It comes out
go
10 by
much-
10 after
Before
it
you do that,
expands.
Yeah.
Did you have to grease the pan before, or was it just like straight in?
We had 2 sticks of butter.
No, I saw the sticks of butter. Oh, fair point. Never mind. Dumb question. Dumb question.
There are no
but
such thing as dumb
But no, you
questions.
do not need to grease the pan.
Okay.
Okay, so this is going
All right, so let me open
in
that.
thank you, sir, our 375 onion oven. And if you have convection, you could do like 25. I'm doing 22, or if you don't have convection, 25 to 30 I do, so I'm doing like 22.
Do you have a rule of thumb? I don't use convection. I've got one. I just have always used just plain old bake.
Okay.
Is there a rule of thumb that you use when you put it on convection?
Usually you're like either decreasing the time or you're adjusting the temperature by like 25 degrees.
Okay.
So that you don't overcook.
Right.
Because
Are
the
there-
convection is going to cook faster.
Are there
but
times you don't
more
want to use the
evenly.
convection? Like, hey, I'm baking, so we shouldn't use convection, or does it?
No, I think the convection is like good for everything because
Okay.
it's getting theoretically
moves the
more,
air, right.
yeah, more,
Yeah, so more consistency.
around. Yeah. I always use the convection. Always. Yeah. I don't know why. If you have it, I don't know why you wouldn't.
Why you wouldn't use
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Okay, so where we're at with, if we can come back to this camera here, we've got our mirepoix
Ah, it smells so good.
in here.
I know I'm killing it.
Yeah.
Wrong.
I know, man. Chef Eric, man. That's right.
And we're gonna finish the recipe by adding some wine.
Lovely.
Now I'm gonna dump this in because I did a batch already, and can they see me or they can see this? It's 2 cups, so I'm pouring because I know that what's left in here is 2 cups.
Beautiful.
And we're gonna let this come up to a little boil. Then we will add the stock. So you can use really any
Lovely.
stock. Am I still in the, okay. So what I don't know if you caught this earlier, but I made
You think you made your own stock?
I did. I made a ribeye roast a few months ago, took all the bones, made the stock, and
It
then
makes a big
my
deal.
mom,
Yeah.
Nana, loves lamb. So we always get lamb chops.
Good stuff, yeah.
Then I made homemade stock with the lamb bones. And so I combined those for our stock for this
It's
stew
good.
because I was like,
Good.
well, like, how can that be bad?
Sure.
So then you'll add the stock, bring that to a boil. You'll add your spices, your Worcestershire, your Dijon. Oh, that was the other thing that I was so happy
Oh,
to make it
tomato paste,
Italian.
yeah.
I added tomato paste, which I think is actually technically in it normally.
It's rich. No, it adds a richness.
It does,
We
yeah.
call that, okay, new language, we call that umami. So is anybody keeping Italian how many languages we've been hitting here? It's like,
Tim.
yeah.
So we'll let this go, but that should bring you relatively close to where we just ended up.
Right.
So let's cut into this.
Oh, by the way, hey, can you come on camera? Yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, take a look. He's got his Gordon Ramsay haircut on. I mean, this is awesome. Did you notice that?
And I'm ready. Oh, here we go, though. This is what I've been waiting
yeah,
for.
so let's
That looks
cut into
beautiful. Holy
the
cow, that looks
puff
great.
pastry.
Yummy.
And I have this in a little bowl that's almost like a shallow soup bowl because it is a stew. So you don't want to serve this like in a plate
Yeah.
because there is still
That's
the
a
juices.
great dish, actually, design. I love it because that's great for pasta.
Yeah.
That is great
Yep.
for stew. That is great
Yep.
for so many things. Risotto.
Okay, so let's
yeah.
come back over
Okay.
here
Yeah,
and let me make one more of these.
that looks wonderful.
Yeah, it does.
Great call on the puff pastry.
I love
I mean,
it.
that is such a great easy button move.
Yep. Well, and I love the puff pastry for beautiful appetizers as well.
Yeah.
To make you can roll them, but you can also cover them. My favorite one is it's pears and blue cheese and walnuts as on top of the puff pastry as an appetizer.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's just the best little cheat there. Okay, so
Before you cut in, you did have a quick question.
Yeah.
Somebody asked how much tomato paste and Dijon.
Oh, you know what? Thank you, because in the packet, I don't think I put measurements on there. So I did like a tablespoon and a half of tomato paste, Dijon, Worcestershire
Yep.
each. Okay, so we've got that, and then here is our finish. So it did turn out
It looked great.
lovely.
It's
It's
great,
just,
yeah.
I think, and it didn't totally fall apart. So like this is how it came out.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool that it actually came out like the little finger.
Yeah.
So we have our Scottish stew pie. So gentlemen, take a little bite.
Oh, yeah.
If you insist.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Man, when we walked into the room, when we walked in about an hour and a half ago, man, it smelled great already.
And I'm gonna take a little bite out of the pan.
Very nice. The beef is nice and soft and succulent.
Very
Oh,
tender.
that's good. Yum. Okay.
Chase is great with a little bit of scotch.
yeah. Okay, and then
Oh, crumbly. See, so you were freaking out.
I know, but it worked. Well, I was thinking it would turn out different.
You know, this is good because it's still light. It's not. It's not brick. Listen, I grew up with shortbread that like would sink you to the bottom of the ocean if, it was, if your feet were stuck in it. I mean, it was like concrete. This is
This is good.
Very good.
very good. This is very good. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, let me swallow this. And that's our cooking episode.
That's wonderful.
Because
Yeah.
we've got the other stuff in the oven. I'm gonna finish this. We're gonna let this simmer for like 2
Oh, yeah,
hours.
Yeah.
In the recipe, I did say minimum 1 hour. But if you think of like
Low and slow.
the marinara,
Yeah.
my grandma's marinara, it's the same thing with this. It needs 2 or 3 hours to thicken up
yeah.
and really come together and get that beautiful, beautiful sauce. So if you have the time, let it sit there for a couple hours after you finish that.
Well, now what are you pouring? Is this the same one or is this a different one?
No, this is the same one, but I'm
Okay.
about to, if we sign off, I want to sign off with this one.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready? This was awesome.
Thank you for being here.
This has been fantastic.
Come to our concert. Actually, next week we're doing Home Alone Film with Music, which means we show the feature film where the musical soundtrack has been scrubbed, and then the orchestra plays it in real time. And then the following week, the weekend of the 23rd, that's when we do the Scottish Fantasy. So come and see us then. Are we signing off? Is this it?
Well, and I was just going to say the Paramount from, was it 1923 or 1925?
1922, 21, 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Used to be a movie theater.
Used to be a movie theater.
So
we're-
like
yeah.
it is the most, if you haven't been to it, if you live anywhere in the corridor or really in eastern Iowa and you've not been to the Paramount Theater, you have got to come see the Paramount Theater. It's downtown, Cedar Rapids. It is so gorgeous. It's about, 1,700 seats.
Yep.
But it used to be a movie theater. So it's got like the tapestries and the
Yeah.
drapes, on the side. It's so cool. And the Home Alone with the live orchestra,
Yeah.
OMG, is
Yeah.
going to be just freaking crazy
We're
good.
starting Christmas early, so join us.
Oh, so good.
Okay? Yeah,
So good.
absolutely. Well, thank you very
So
much.
good. Thanks for being
Cheers.
here,
Cheers.
guys.
And to quote Mike Myers, if it's not Scottish, it's crap! See you later, everybody. Awesome.
Please go to all of our social media, orchestraiowa.org or artsiowa.com, Kelly at giasitaliankitchen.biz, and do all those social things. Like and comment and subscribe. Help us grow, help us spread the word across the state and across the nation.
Hell
so
yeah.
cheers, Manja.
Cheers.
Thanks for
Cheers.
joining.
You
We'll
betcha.
see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.